Another great kind of unconventional core stability exercise is one called kettlebell pull-throughs. Now, if you don't have option for a kettlebell, you can of course use a dumbbell, and you can even use a weight plate as well. Now, this is a great exercise to work the anti-rotators of the core. So think of the anti-rotators when we talk about a regular standard low plank or a tall plank, you're resisting the urge for extension. Okay, when you do a side plank, you're resisting the urge of a side bend, which is called lateral flexion. And then third is anti-rotation, so resisting the urge to rotate, in this case towards the floor. So I'll demonstrate in a tall plank position in just a moment, but I think this is an exercise that's really beneficial for a lot of people. I think the anti-rotation for the core is super important when we're talking about protecting the spine, especially for those that play some type of rotational sport like baseball, softball, tennis, golf, etc. All right, when you're working anti-rotators, we're talking about the transverse abdominis. It looks kind of like that spare tire of the lower portion of the abs. So again, super duper important, and I think there's a lot of people that we focus so much on planks, side planks, and even carries that we don't do enough anti-rotation core stability exercises. So again, just set up with a nice moderate weight of a kettlebell or a dumbbell, or even again using a weight plate, and I always keep the weight behind my hands when I set up into a tall plank position. So I'm going to place my hands about shoulder width apart in front of the kettlebell, but when I step my feet back, I always want that kind of double wide position. All right, so lower the hips to the floor, and then what I'm going to do to start is basically with my right hand, I'm going to pull the kettlebell across the floor, put the hand right back down, and then use the left hand to pull the kettlebell across the floor. Now, what I don't want to do is actually pick it up and then just place it down. I want a little bit more resistance by pulling the kettlebell across the floor. So again, if you have rubber dumbbells and a rubber floor, you get a lot more friction caused by the flooring. Same goes for a weight plate. So again, if you have a kettlebell, a little bit easier to kind of pull it across the floor. Basically what you want to do is make sure if you can hold that double wide position for your legs, it prevents something that I call hip dancing, where your hips kind of just bounce up and down like so. Every time your hips start to rotate like that, you're not staying stable in the spine or the low back as well. So make sure you're being very careful and protective to keep the hips low and keep them square to the floor the entire time. And what I traditionally do is just do this exercise for a set amount of time, or you can just count the reps and make sure that you're even on both sides. So give that exercise a shot. Let me know how it goes.